recapturing screens for screen printing. So I got, let's see, I got 8 screens here that I'm going to recapture, which is I'm going to wet, then I'm going to hit it with some emulsion buster and power wash it all out, and there'll be blank screens where I'll be able to recoat them and reuse them for future artwork. Emulsion remover. This is what I'm going to spray on the screens, and it's going to break down the emulsion where I can use the power washer to get the emulsion out of the screen mesh. So there's my screens that are pre-wetted, so they're wet. And really the water kind of breaks it down also. So let's hit it with some of this juice. I'm gonna spray it with some of this juice here, and then I'm gonna scrub it, work it in it so it starts to do its job. And then power wash it out. They'll be all blank screens. I've got to wait for them to dry, of course, before I recoat it with fresh emulsion. But this is the beginning process of recapturing screens so I can make new ones. So there you go. So the next step is to get that embedded ink that's in the screen there. And I use this stuff called Haze Ghost Remover. You spray it and you scrub it and hit it with a power wash, and hopefully most of that ink will pop on out of there. So we're going to spray it. And we're going to scrub it just a hair. Get it in there. Get it on the other side. And hopefully we'll power wash it. Hopefully that will come out. So here's that screen that had the embedded ink. So I sprayed it with some dehazer ghost remover. Now I'm gonna hit it with the power wash and see if we can get rid of at least most of that ink that's embedded in the screen mesh. So it didn't get it 100% out, but I mean, we can go back over it one more time, but I think it's good. And the thing about getting that ink out, it's also when you recoat it with emulsion, you don't want it to kind of like not adhere to the screen. So sometimes that ink will be there and may bubble up, but I think that's good enough. So created my artwork and printed it out. And I use this clear, translucent type paper so I can make my screens. And we're going to do that right now. In addition to the other prints was a new front left chest design of the original back design that we did last year. So this is a small left chest that I printed out on the clear vellum plastic exposure paper. So this is going to be added to the mix, and that's what you're going to see at the very end of this video package as far as what's going to be screen printed with ink onto the front of maybe half of the order of these shirts. So next is coating of the screen. Here's the blank screen. It's all cleaned up, power washed out, and all dry. Going to be coating it with some photo emulsion. The two enemies of photo emulsion is water and light. So here's my jug of photo emulsion. It's kind of like a paste. It's like a pudding, thick. It's kind of cold right now. I got it out of the refrigerator. It'll last longer if I keep it cool. So, like I said, the enemy of photo emulsion is light, so we got to kill it. Bring it over to my screen. That's where I need to start pasting it on there. A little bit more maybe. Okay. And whatever tool, I mean, generally I just use a triangle. Just kind of coat the screen. Coat the screen. Try to get it even as possible throughout the entire. Usually this dries within, I don't know, a couple hours, something like that. So, all right, see you to the next. So I'm here in the dark room, and like I said, the emulsion is very, very light sensitive. So here's my screen that I coated. It's now dry to the touch, but still it's light sensitive. And we're gonna apply this artwork to the back side and get it lined up and everything. And we're gonna hit it with some light, and then we're gonna wash it out with water. So next step is coming up, and let me set this up and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. So I've got my artwork taped on, centered on the back side of the screen. We're gonna flip her over, put it onto my light table, get that aligned, okay. And what I'm gonna do next is place a matte on it. This is a black matte foam. You want something black, so you don't want light shooting through up and around the artwork and all. And make sure that this is pressed on there tightly. I just place some weights on there. Make sure it's pressed tightly, and the artwork is pressed tightly against the screen. So now with this light table, maybe just over 3 minutes, we'll turn her on and let the light do its magic for about 3.5 minutes. Then we wash it out in the wash basin. So we're getting down to the last couple seconds. Light goes off. Take the weights off. Take off the board. There's the artwork. Let's turn that over. Let's go ahead and take the artwork off. Hopefully this will turn out okay. You can't even see anything that it did anything or whatever. And we'll let the water do its magic. Like I said, the enemy of emulsion is water. But whatever the light hit does not affect, the water does not affect it. Backside, kind of wet that. Looks like this. Let's take a look at it and see how well we did as far as washing it out. I think that looks pretty good. I got all the emulsion out of there. Yep. Only thing to do now is to get some of that water out of there and wait for her to dry, and she'll be ready to go for screen printing. Yep. Looks pretty good, nice and clean. Looks like this. Let's take a look at it and see how well we did as far as washing it out. I think that looks pretty good. I got all the emulsion out of there. Yep. Only thing to do now is to get some of that water out of there and wait for her to dry, and she'll be ready to go for screen printing. Yep. Looks pretty good, nice and clean. The printing process. Shirt on a pallet. Getting the screen with a squeegee with ink already in it. Place it in the guides. Onto the shirt. Let's see here. Flood one more time. Print. Lift that puppy off. Paddling for pennies. The pallet where the garment gets cured. So it's on this pallet and swing it around with infrared heat to dry it. And after about 45 seconds, she is dry to the touch and cured, hard as a rock.